Hey, what's going on out there, YouTube family? This is Sammy Legger here representing Team JVS. I am here today to give you guys a movie review. The name of this movie is called Crisis. Now, this is the synopsis, what it reads. 3 stories about a world of opioid colliding issues. A drug trafficker arranges for multi-cartel smuggling operation between Canada and the US. A architect recovering from oxycodone addiction tracks down the truth behind a situation with her son and narcotics, and a university professor battles unsuspecting revelation about his research employer, a drug company with deep government influence in bringing a non-addictive painkiller to market. Now, one of the things that is interesting about this film is the cast. You got Gary Oldman is playing the role of the professor, Dr. Tyrone Brower. You got Armie Hammer's playing like the certain person that's working with the drug trafficking people, Jake Kelly, so I'm not going to spoil anything about his specific situation, even though he's pivotal to a lot of the things that are going on with the distribution of narcotics, with the distribution of the drug push in and of itself. Then you got Evangeline Lilly is playing the role of Claire, who is a loving mom, who used to be an architect, who also is recovering addict herself. You got Greg Kinnear. You also got Kid Cudi in this one, Michelle Rodriguez, Idora Varma. So it's a good cast of people. But let's talk about the things that I did like. So the things I did like about this film, in terms of the way that they shot it. A lot of the actual cinematography, the lighting, the color grading, it was actually done really well. Some of the actual specific focal point shots, whether it was close-up pan shot of Evelyn and dealing with her immersive emotional turmoil, or if it was Armie Hammer's character, like a wide panned out shot of kind of seeing like the action that's actually happening and the gruesomeness of the situation that he's in. I think it was shot pretty well. I think it was a very well looking film, and I think that also the way that they actually edited it worked really well. The other thing is, I think the soundtrack actually worked. Their score was actually pretty good to be able to elevate tone in different tension moments. There's a lot of different tension moments that the director is trying to build with the story that he actually did write, which is Nicholas, I'm sorry if I get the last name wrong, Jarecki. He actually wrote and directed this, but I think he had a specific look and feel in mind. I think he was able to actually execute that pretty well. As far as the cast is concerned, Evangeline Lilly was the standout for me. So this was her best performance to me. Like, she actually showcased not only her seriousness as an actor. I mean, the last one I feel like she was really in was The Hurt Locker, that was really on the serious side. But this one, this specific performance, it required a lot of range of things. Whether it was her addiction and the issues behind that, whether it was her love for her son, whether it was her irately going and doing a certain thing that was going to put her in turmoil as well as everybody else around her. She was the shining light to me of this film more than anybody else. I think that Greg Kinnear, in the way that he kind of portrayed like this Dean, was really different for him as a character, but it wasn't like acted really well. I think it was just the progression of the way his character flowed with Gary Oldman. I think it was a back and forth that worked pretty well. Gary Oldman in this one, I felt like he kind of held back. I think that I felt for his character, but as far as his performance, there wasn't anything for him to give, nor was the script merited for him to actually give. As far as the story is concerned, the story becomes to me, a hodgepodge of different things. I felt like Crash kind of came to mind, specifically with the interwoven stories. Traffic came to mind. There's another film, but if I say it, it'll spoil something with Armie Hammer's character. I'm not going to say it. But it felt like those 3 movies kind of combined into one, whereas unfortunately in the third act, they just kind of end things. They just kind of like, well, this is it. This is the resolution of this. This is how this overlays this. And at the same time, you are kind of consistently wondering at all these different storylines connected. And I will say they are functionally not necessarily. It does center around the aspect of drugs, of narcotics, of the impact it has on us as a people, whether it is from, a professor or educational standpoint, whether it's from being a father or a mother. Those things are kind of pivotal, but the way that they wrap things up in a neat little bow, I could not appreciate. I didn't actually like. Even though I did like the cinematography, even though I loved Evelyn's performance, even though I did like some of the things they did with some of the action beats, it just did not live up to amount to anything. I think that they really, in the second and third act, really could have made this a very interesting suspense and twist. They could have really went a Breaking Bad route with this, but they chose to kind of pull back and just kind of close out the film and kind of pleasantly show like, okay, this is a fictional story, but this is implying this. Whereas I feel like instead of like painting a narrative for understanding, I think they just really could have showed like a really concise story, and it would have made it so much more of an impact. I rest this at a 5.5 or 6, maybe 5.5 out of 10. Let me know what you think of Crisis when you get a chance. It's coming out February the 26th of 2021. All right, keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Make sure you leave a like. Bye, guys.